Do you want to make videos for social media, but you are terrified of filming yourself and talking on camera? Then this video is for you. I'm making videos for social media for a couple of years now, and I have struggled with the same, and I still do. The thing is, I have a stutter that you probably won't even notice anymore in my videos, but you can imagine that that really made me very nervous to start creating videos. I've learned a lot along the way, and these are the things that I want to share with you. So if you struggle with the same, I hope this video can help you so you can put out those videos that you really want to make. And that's something about creating your own videos with yourself in it that is really important, especially nowadays, because there is so much AI going around that even when you mess up, you're still a real human being, and you have that advantage over all the AI voices out there. You're already a real person, so you already have that one down, because people will forgive you if it's not perfect. People want to connect to real human beings. If you watch a video, you want to be able to relate to that. And if it's something that's entirely AI created, if it's an AI voice, if it's an AI person, you can't relate to that. People want real people. We want the real deal, and we don't want something that's fake. So I encourage you to start making the videos with yourself in it, talking to the camera, because I had to learn as well, and I know you can do it. The first tip that I want to give you is practice as often as you can. Just make short clips of yourself recording with your phone, and you don't need to do anything with that, but it's just to get familiar with talking to a camera. And you have to make sure to keep it short, that way you don't exhaust yourself, because your voice will get tired. You need to get used to talking to the camera, and you, especially at the beginning when recording yourself, you will find yourself in a place that you don't really know what to say. So practice a lot, practice every day, and just make it a habit to talk to camera what you've done that day, or something that happened to you, or something that you enjoyed or that you not enjoyed that happened that day. Share that conversation as you would share it to a friend. And just delete those videos afterwards. They're not something that you want to post, they're just for you to practice and get comfortable with talking to a camera. And then there is also that feeling that you are talking to a camera lens, and it feels like so disconnected. I mean, you want to connect to people, you want to talk to people like I'm talking to you right now, but it feels like you're talking to a machine. And we have already established we want to be a human being that talks to other human beings. So what I always do, I imagine I talk to a friend. And I imagine, like, if I would want to tell this story to a friend, how would I tell that to them? And if it might help you, how would you usually start a conversation with your friend? Would you just say like, hey, you never guess what happened to me today? And then you start your story. Well, you know, you can cut when you are editing your videos. So why not start your talking to the camera with, hey, you never guess what happened to me today? You cut that off in post, and your story will go more fluent. And again, that is something that you need to practice as often as you can. But if you approach it like this, I promise you it will get easier. And when you're first starting out with talking to a camera, you need to find a place where you can be entirely alone, because you already have that feeling of being watched. That's already emphasized, and when you have people around, it gets more and more difficult. You get stressed. I also have social anxiety, for example, and that really peaks when I'm talking to a camera. And if there would be people around, it would be even more scary. So I recommend start recording in your room, or go to a forest where it's very peaceful and quiet, and start recording your first videos there. So you don't have to worry about anybody else watching or listening along with you. And you can first become familiar with talking to the camera. And once you have become more comfortable with talking to the camera in the privacy of your own room, then you can level that up a bit by maybe going outside. For example, I'm in my garden right now. My neighbors can probably hear me, and that would be something that I would have really struggled with in the beginning of my journey, but right now I'm a lot more comfortable, because for me it's like they can also watch the video on YouTube, so they already know that I'm creating content like this. So it wouldn't be too weird if I would just be sitting in my garden recording a video talking to a camera. And when you really want to level it up a bit, then go to a public place and start recording there. And one thing that I do need to tell you, if you do that, people will notice. People will watch you when you record your video. And for me, that is something I find really scary. But what helps me is to bring a friend. because then the friend is there with you and you're kind of awkward together, and a shared burden is like half a burden or something like that. So if you're going through that level, bring a friend and it will become a bit easier for you. But if you're at the beginning of that journey, don't worry about that right now. Again, become comfortable first with recording yourself on the camera. And another thing that is really important is edit your own voice. I know some people have the luxury of hiring an editor right away when starting a channel. I do not have that luxury, but there is another plus side on editing your own voice, is that you will get familiar with listening to your own voice. And you know that cringe feeling that you get when you hear your own voice from a recording. That is actually how your voice sounds to other people. But when you start editing your own voice, you will listen to it so often that you will become acquainted with it. And you have, at some point, you have accepted that that is your voice as well. And it will become a lot easier to talk on camera, because somewhere in the back of your mind, that little voice that is telling you that, hey, your voice is really weird, that kind of starts to disappear. That feeling starts to disappear, because you know that with the right audio edit, your voice can sound really good as well. You just have to listen to it really, really often to kind of accept that as another version of your own voice. And when you edit your own videos, you also start to learn how much you actually cut out. And when you have like a story in which you have to cut many times because you have like those heavy breathings, like, or you get that stutter, or you say like me, I always say and I say that a lot, and you can cut all of these out. And when you have done that, the story that you're trying to tell becomes way more smooth. And when you watch back, you think, oh, at first when I just recorded it, I thought it was really, really bad. But now that I'm watching it, it's not that bad anymore. And when you have done that over and over and over again, and you feel, when you're talking on camera and you feel like you're messing up, you know that it's only messed up if you cannot fix it anymore in post. And most of the time you can still make a story out of that when you just cut away all the things that are not necessary in your video. Like I said earlier in the video, I have a stutter. Sometimes it's there and sometimes it doesn't bother me at all. It also depends how tired I am. If I have a lot of energy, my stutter is almost non-existent. But when I'm tired or when I'm stressed, it becomes really difficult for me to record a video. And in the beginning, I didn't record when I was feeling like that, because I thought, well, I cannot record a proper video. Now I've learned I can still record a video, only I will have a little bit more work afterwards for cutting all those stutters out. But I can still create a video from that. It's not entirely wasted. And that is, you need to learn to trust yourself, you need to learn to trust your own voice, and you also need to learn to trust the ability to make corrections after you have recorded the video. And I know when you're watching other YouTube creators, and I have the same feeling, when I see them talk on camera, it goes so smooth and they talk so easily and so free of the anxiety. But you must realize that they needed to learn as well. They have been on this journey for years maybe and already gained all that experience, and you are just starting out. And the longer you are on a journey, the easier it becomes. But please keep in mind, it's okay to feel that way. It's okay that you need to learn this, and because every creator that you see that's out there was on the same journey, had that feeling as well, and managed to overcome that. And you will do that too. I know you can, because like I said, I have a stutter, I have social anxiety, I'm autistic, and even I managed to learn how to talk on camera. So if I can learn, you can do it for sure. And then I have one last tip for you before you start recording, and that is get into the right mindset. What I like to do is, for example, I watch a video of some of my favorite creators and I let the way they talk to camera inspire me. And sometimes I just want to listen to some good music just to get in a positive vibe, a happy vibe, and feel that energy of the music. I like metal music, any kind of music that can work for you, that can help you to get into the right mindset, because for me vibe is really important. And when you have that energy, when you feel it, like maybe do a little dance, and that is when you feel ready to start recording, and then you start recording your video, and trust me, that will really make a difference. So that is what I wanted to share with you about talking on camera and how scary and difficult it can be. And I hope the solutions that I gave you will work for you as well. If you have any other tips on talking on camera, please let me know in the comments, or if you have any questions, stopped on that as well. This channel is like a playground for me, where I can post everything that I have learned on my social media journey. So if you are on a journey like that as well, please subscribe so we can grow together, and I hope I see you with the next video. Bye!